Find x. All right, what do I have here? X is way over here. It's attached to this little triangle looking thing that has an angle of 45 and 90. Oh, which means you would also be 45. Do I have any information about this triangle? No, I just know that it's a 45, 45, 90. Great. Let's look at this other triangle. I have the hypotenuse of this triangle. It's 90, it's 45, and it's 45 again. So I have two 45, 45, 90s. I know that 45, 45, 90s are special types of triangles. Okay, it's a special type of right triangle that says that's supposed to be 45, 45, 90, poorly drawn. But it says if I have a triangle with 45 and 45 and 90 degrees, if I have a leg here, the other leg is exactly the same because this is isosceles. Also, the hypotenuse is going to be square root of 2 times a leg. So if this was 5, 5 root 2. Got it? Now, how does that help me here? Well, I have to work my way from 7 root 6 all the way to x, which means I probably have to find that line connecting it. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to start out looking at this big triangle right here that is 45, 45, 90. I have the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is 9 root 6. I need a leg. Over here, I said, if I give you a leg, then the way I find the hypotenuse is I multiply by root 2. Well, this is not simple because I'm not giving you the leg. I'm giving you the hypotenuse, which means I have to go in reverse. So I'll call you h because it looks like it could be a height. So I'm just going to call it h. In order to find h, which is a leg, I have to take this hypotenuse and divide by root 2 because I'm working in reverse. So my hypotenuse is 9 root 6. I'm going to divide by root 2. Now, when you do a square root divided by a square root, I can take this 9 here and shove it off to the side and put both of these numbers inside the same square root. What that gives me is 9 times the square root of 6 divided by 2, 3. So this value right here, that h, is 9 root 3. For funsies, this is also 9 root 3, but it doesn't really help us. Now what I have is I have this triangle where I have to find x, so I'm going to color it blue. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, just because I'm mucking this up, I'm going to move it down. I'm going to recreate the fact that this is 9 root 3, and I have to find x, and you're a right angle. You're 45 degrees, you're 45 degrees. I'm given a hypotenuse of 9 root 3. This is a 45, 45, 90. I know that if I was given a hypotenuse and I have to find the leg, I divide by root 2 again. So x is going to be 9 root 3 divided by root 2. Now, here is the problem with this guy. If I use the same process that I did here, nothing's going to simplify. I knew that I could do 6 divided by 2, and so I did this. You're not allowed to have the square root of 2 in the denominator of a fraction. So when you have the square root of 2 in the denominator of a fraction, what you do is a process called rationalizing the fraction. You multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 2. What does that do for us? Well, the top becomes 9 times the square root of 3 times 2 is 6. The square root of 6. Anything there change? Nope. The square root of 4. And if you're thinking, why does that help us? I thought I was supposed to get rid of the square roots. What's the square root of 4? 2. So 9 times the square root of 6 over 2 is now a legal answer. And so that's my x. And if you're thinking, oh, can I simplify these? No, because one's in a square root, one's not. So this problem was much more complicated than a previous video that I had, but the same idea is there. It's just with this one, I'm giving you the hypotenuse instead of giving you a leg. So complicates things a little bit. Still tons of fun. I enjoyed it.